Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Force with some more ArcheAge discussion. In today's video, I'd like to talk with you guys about PvP in the game, or my PvP experiences so far. Now there's several different types of PvP, and actually before we jump into the one that I want to talk about today, which is the open world enemy faction PvP while leveling up, I do also want to let you know that your own faction can fight you. So fair warning, when you're playing this game, players in your own faction can go hostile and engage in combat with you, basically attacking you. And if they kill you, they are punished, they get crime points, they eventually go in front of a jury of their own peers, other players, which convict them of the crime or say that they're innocent. And then they've got to serve out jail time in the game. It's kind of crazy, but that stuff aside, we're not going to focus on that so much here today. Today I'd like to focus on the open world PvP experience. Basically, while leveling up, once you get to around level 30, you're going to be pushed into a conflicting warring area. Now there's actually three factions in the game. So there's the West and the East, and then there's also the pirate faction. But the two big factions, once you get around level 30, you're basically brought into the enemy faction's territory to continue to go through your questing. And while this is happening, the area is in a constant state of flux, either at peace or in war. And when it's in war, that's when you've got to be really concerned about enemy players engaging you, or you can engage in enemy players. When there's a peacetime, there's actually no fighting between the factions, which is sort of an interesting. I actually don't really like that so much, but though it fluctuates every few hours, and when it's in war, open world PvP is going to commence. Now, my experience thus far has been pretty much how it's been in other MMOs that have open world PvP. It's that the person that gets the drop, or the person who attacks you first, is typically the one who's going to win. We're talking specifically in low-level PvP, even more specifically while people are still learning the game. It seems the case that as soon as, if I ever get an open attack on someone, they're pretty much screwed. And this leads me into what I could see sort of being a problem with this game, and that is the stealth mechanic. Now, if you don't remember, the way the class system functions is that there are 10 class skill lines, and you pick 3 of those to make up your class. Well, the shadow skill line gives you access to a stealth, and here's how it works. It is on a 45-second cooldown, but it lasts 45 seconds. So with the exception of like a half a second when it drops off cooldown and you reactivate it, you basically, anyone who picks up that skill line as one of your 3 can essentially walk around permanently stealthed. And that's where I could see a bit of a problem in the open world PvP, is that anyone who has that as one of their 3 skill lines can be permanently invisible, run around, and just ganking everybody, and there's pretty much nothing you can do about it. Now, it is the case that if you're nearby someone who's in stealth, you do get to slightly detect them. They're not like complete. If you're standing right next to them, you're gonna see them if they're in stealth, but it's that you can't see them coming. It sort of feels like World of Rogues. I mean, it sort of feels like that to me. And I'm not even just talking like, oh, woe is me, I kept getting ganked, because I actually did most of the killing a majority of the time, but with the exception of being zerged down by a group of players, which will happen in any open world PvP, it definitely seems like this is a very, very strong skill line when it comes to the open world PvP mechanic, not only offensively, but also defensively, because even when people got the drop on me, so long as I didn't start the fight with half health, before they were able to DPS me down, I was able to sprint away, go invisible, and if they didn't have invisibility themselves, I would just basically walk near them, and then once I replenished my health, I didn't even have to wait till I was full health. If I get the opening attack, it almost seems if anyone gets the opening attack, it is the case that they are going to quickly zerg you down. Damage is very high in this game, and that also leads me to believe that people may start running these survivability builds so that they can survive that initial burst and then turn around and hopefully be victorious. And there's already a whole metagame for this game because it has been out in the East, in Korea, for quite some time. It's been out in Russia now for a little while as well. So there's a metagame. There are strong builds already available for people here in the West to sort of pick up on and use based on people's prior experience with this game. But and I'm not even, the point of this video is not to complain about stealth. I have stealth. The point of this video is not to say that the open world PvP is broken. I just basically wanted to share with you how it's been for me so far. The PvP three different things have happened, okay? Either one, I see someone before they see me, I go invisible, I walk behind them, I one-shot them. Two, someone is invisible and they just sneak up on me. I'm grinding, I'm constantly looking around, but they're invisible, so I can't see them. They get behind me and they one-shot me. Or three, they get behind me, I have enough health to get away, go invisible, and then either attack them or just run away. Because remember, 45-second stealth. That is a long time. And again, it's on a 45-second cooldown. It's kind of crazy, but that's been my experience so far. You know, we're talking low-level PvP. I'm not saying that the PvP is imbalanced. I have no inclination as to how the high-level PvP is going to be at all. But this is just how it's been so far. I got to the level 30 zone. I've been doing this for a few hours now, this particular portion of the game, and it's basically summed up in those three scenarios. And then also there's just huge trains of Zerg for both factions, you know, 5+ people just running around ganking anyone that they can find. But that's, again, sort of to be expected in any game that has open world PvP. So there you go, guys. Just a little quick recap of my 30+ leveling experience. You're forced into these zones. I mean, you can level, you can just probably grind in a safe place, or you can level up by crafting and stuff. But if you want to level up by questing, you're going to be with the enemy faction. And whenever the place that you're in is at a time of war, expect to get stealth ganked a ton. Or maybe do some stealth ganking yourself. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for more coverage of ArcheAge as I continue to play the game. I'll keep you guys up to date and let you know what's going on and share with you anything I think is worth sharing. I hope you guys have a great day. And as always, if you like the content, please subscribe, keep watching, and keep owning.